Outkick the Tailgate, presented by Farmfolio, rolls on in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Ole Miss, Alabama. The biggest game in the SEC this weekend. Glenn Guilbeau, Outkick.com, senior SEC writer, joins us right now. Thanks for stopping by.
Hello, good morning.
Coffee only right now.
Yes.
I asked already. The drink is only coffee. We haven't thrown anything in there yet. It's okay. It's a tailgate, though.
It's a work day.
It is a work day because we have you covering the game for us today.
Yes.
So when you look at Ole Miss, Alabama, what's going to stick out to you that you're going to be looking for in this one?
Well, this Ole Miss offense is just unbelievable. I mean, they gave Alabama the best game Alabama had last year, and they're off to a great start this year, too. They lead the nation in yards. They lead the nation in points. They hadn't played anybody great yet, so that's what we're going to find out today.
What's different about this Ole Miss team?
I think their defense is a little better. Their defense was terrible last year. It was one of the worst defenses in the country along with LSU. But it looks like they're playing a little better on defense this year, so that's going to give them a chance, I think, against Alabama. And Alabama, I was at the Florida game, and Alabama didn't look great. You know, Florida really handled their defense well. In fact, Alabama's defense in the fourth quarter, the guys were holding their knees. Coach Saban even said they got tired in the second quarter. So if they had trouble with Florida, they're going to have trouble with Ole Miss.
When you look at this Ole Miss defense, everybody is saying that it has improved. I'll give you that. You just said, though, we don't really know who Ole Miss has played yet.
Right.
And is this Ole Miss defense ready to go on the road against a number one Alabama team? Are they there yet, right? They're improved, for sure. But is this going to be a test that's just a little too much for them?
Well, if you're asking me to pick the game, yeah, I think it will be. I think Alabama will win the game, but I think it's going to be a close game.
Okay.
I think Ole Miss is going to have a chance to win. But today is kind of litmus test Saturday because we see how good Kentucky is. They're undefeated and unranked. We're gonna see if Ole Miss is for real. We'll see which team is worse, LSU or Auburn. So it's an interesting Saturday. Yeah, it's an interesting Saturday, but this is the biggest one.
It would appear Brian Robinson is back healthy at running back, and it would also appear that Alabama, for the first time in a while, is human at running back.
Exactly, and human really more so on defense, I think, and that's what's going to make today interesting. You know, Ole Miss started off like on fire last year against Alabama, scored within a minute their first touchdown, and they were up 21-14 later in the second quarter. And talking to some of the Alabama players this week, you know, they said that they're going to try to be more prepared early in this game and early in the before the snap, you know, because Ole Miss really has a great pace. And I think that really caught them off guard last year. So Alabama's D is going to be ready for that.
And these two programs have produced the elite wide receivers over the years to the next level. Is it Williams? Is it Drummond? Who steps up for either offense biggest today with their quarterback play?
I would say, you know, as good as Matt Corral is, he kind of makes everybody good. I think it's a game of quarterbacks. Bryce Young, Matt Corral, both from Southern California. Bryce is still coming along. He's kind of like Matt was at this time last year, maybe, though Matt was a little more experienced. You know, this game could decide the Heisman Trophy. I mean, right now Matt is the favorite, but Bryce Young is right there. Hasn't thrown the ball as much as Matt, but he might today.
When we look at this game, Lane Kiffin returns to Tuscaloosa. There's a lot that has been made about that. Of course, we know Nick Saban is 23-0 against his former assistant coaches. Where does Lane rank kind of on that list of the great assistant coaches that we've seen come out of Alabama?
Well, he and Kirby have been the closest to beating Nick. Kirby came really close in the championship game and has had some other good games. And then Lane had the game last year. Now, Lane almost beat Alabama when he was at Tennessee, lost 12-10, but he wasn't a pupil yet. He hadn't worked for Nick yet. Now, Jimbo Fisher at A&M has been the most successful coach. He's the only one of the group that won a national championship, but he has not played well against Saban. He hasn't really been close in a game. So really, right now, it's Lane and Kirby, and Jimbo gets another shot next week.
You know, Lane with the week off to prepare for Saban, right? And the mantra, the statements coming out from Oxford, hey, you know, they're great. We need a lot of things to go our way. We need some turnovers. We need the ball bouncing, the 50-50 thing. What wrinkles do you expect Kiffin to throw in with the week off to prepare for today?
Well, I don't think the week off.
Do they force the issue?
Yeah, the week off was too early for Ole Miss. Lane even said that. You don't need a week off after just 3 games. That probably will hurt them more, I think, because they were just getting rolling. But, I think there'll be some wrinkles. Last year he came out passing, and then his 3rd touchdown drive, 11 plays, all runs. People forget that Ole Miss can run the ball. And Lane said this
with
week,
multiple guys.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. The first time Nick Saban at Alabama allowed 200-yard rushes in last year's game. And Lane says, I like when people don't think we can run because that helps us run. So I think you'll see, a lot of running from Lane Kiffin. I don't know if you'll see a gadget play, but Lane is a great play caller. So he's going to mix it up. And that's the secret to being a great play caller. He mixes it up. He's as good. He's like Sean Payton in the NFL to me.
The other monster game in the SEC this weekend, Arkansas at Georgia. When you look at this game, big picture, what sticks out?
Well, again, Arkansas, it's the litmus test for them. We don't really know how good they are. They beat Texas. We don't know how good Texas is. They haven't been good in recent years. They beat Texas A&M, but Texas A&M's offense looks awful. I mean, with their injury at quarterback, they just haven't got it going. So we don't know how good Arkansas is. But I like the job Sam Pittman's done. They've been playing good defense. They got a good offensive line. I think Florida is the 2nd best team in the SEC over Georgia because I think Florida's offense is better than Georgia's. So I think it's going to be close today in Athens.
You think it's more likely at the end of today, Glenn, that we look back on today and think Alabama and Georgia prove their dominance over the rest of the conference? Or do you think at the end of today, regardless of result, you can lose a close one, and you think, well, the gap is closing a bit at the top? Well,
yeah, if Ole Miss plays Alabama really well or beats them, obviously the gap's closing. I think Florida's better than Georgia, but I would not be surprised if Kentucky upsets Florida. And, things can change as the season goes on. But I think, I think by the end of today, it'll probably be Alabama and Georgia.